Okay, let's start our review for the test over 6, 7, and 8. And let's start with chapter 6. And demographic means the science of human behavior or human population. And then the Constitution, let me see, give me a marker so I can mark something. The Constitution, the Constitution sets up a census every 10 years, and that's mainly to set up the reapportionment from the House of Representatives. Also, it can give us a lot of data about the melting pot, how many people of each race is growing and some are not. Also, gray power. We see that gray power from our census, more and more people are living longer, and those are the ones who vote. Now, this is a law passed that we talk a lot about today, is that the employer is responsible for making sure that all its workers are American citizens or they have a legal right to come and work in the United States. And you'll see a lot of that in the news today. Now, political socialization is where do you get your opinions on different topics like abortion, immigration, and so on. And so far, your family is your biggest influence. Now, it may take them 20 years to feel that influence, but most people believe that when you're 30, you'll be voting the same way your parents. Some of y'all may not believe that. I'm going to push this down a little bit. Okay, and see, get up here. All right. Let's talk about public opinion. How do we know what everyone thinks? Well, there's several ways to do it. We can sample the population by saying, okay, I'm going to sample 1,000 people from Texas that are married with 2 kids. And I'm going to assume that 100,000 people in Texas that are married with 2 kids will vote the same way. So taking a small population and saying the large population will do the same thing is a sample poll. Now, the random sampling is the same thing, except on a random sample, everyone must have the same opportunity. So you couldn't just ask the first 10 people you saw coming out of a voting booth. You would have to make sure everyone had the same chance of getting picked. It's like putting a bunch of names in a hat and pulling them out. Now, how do we know how good your sample is? Well, at the bottom of the polls, there is a sample error, which tells you how reliable. It may say plus or minus 3. Well, that's pretty reliable. It could be off 3%. If it's plus or minus 15, well, obviously that's not very reliable. And so that's kind of how most everyone, I believe, during an election, especially with the president, we use exit poll. We stop people exiting the voting booth and we ask them, would you mind telling us who you voted for? And then we use the sample poll to guess whether a state is going to go Republican or Democrat or whatever. Okay, moving it up a little bit. Now, we talked some about the linkage, your political activity, and some of it is your basic conventional. You vote, you join a union, you join a political party. Some of it is unconventional, meaning you may march. Civil disobedience is when you decide you're going to break the law because you think somebody's unjust. The protesters in all the parks in Dallas, they broke the law last night, and some was arrested. So, of course, in the 60s, we know that a lot of that was done. Okay, let's go down here. All right, we're going to stop here on chapter 6. We'll have 3 of these so I can put it on a video. So hold on just a second.